Good morning, and I'm Tribulation Saint Egar White. Come to talk to you this morning about the fourth horse of the apocalypse. And I'd like to read to you in Revelations, and it says, when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. I'm particularly looking at that last part where it says, and with the beasts of the earth. Now, I believe, my brothers and sisters, my friends, that fourth horse that is coming, that will carry death, and hell followed with him, and was given over them, over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Now, that fourth part where it says, and the beasts of the earth, I believe refers to creatures. Yes, creatures, my friend. These will come from a variety of ways. The first of which is that people who have been testing animals for years and years and years and have sent them off into the wilderness. And you all know how that favorite little pet mouse got away when you were a child. This is the same thing, but on a much grander scale. The beasts of the earth. Yeah, we're not just talking about mice, my friends. We're talking about creatures who have been manipulated by the splicing in of genes. I've seen pictures of these creatures, and they're awful, and they're scary. And some of them just look up so pathetically at you like, why? Why did you do this to me? There's one case where they have genetically spliced a cow with a human being. And she is laying there on her side, feeding her young. It's so pathetic, my friends. Instead of having one udder with 4 little teats on it where you can milk, she had full breasts, like 8 of them lined up and down the body, and these infants that were also half human, half cow, all nursing on her at the same time. And the look on this woman/cow's face was just so pathetic. And it's said that these experimentation objects are being released into the wild both by the UK and the United States and Germany. I saw another creature, which was a mouse, which instead of having a tiny little nipple for the young to nurse from, had also these conical protrusions as breasts, and the mice eating from her. Now this mice, instead of laying down, was seated, like a human would sit. And although the rest of the body was a rat, she clearly had a complete human face. Now there's other creatures which are going to be in the wild, which are going to be a part of this fourth manner of killing with the sword, with hunger, with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And these, I believe, are going to come to the earth in the form of Nephilim and other such creatures, UFO creatures. And they are actually the devil and 1/3 of his angels that were thrown out of heaven and mated with humans. mated with humans. And this is why you have the stories of the giants. And we have on this earth giants in every single country of the world. But they were always covered up until now. Because the satanic Luciferian cults did not want exposed to the general public that the story of David and Goliath was true. And I'd like to bring out here that David did not pick up 5 stones in case he missed. He picked up the 5 stones for the brothers. Yes, Goliath had 4 brothers. So in case they showed up at the battlefield, David was prepared with 1 stone for each of the 5 giants. Now, as these giants were killed off, they were the last of the living giants. So giants were on this earth until, when would that have been? 450 or so years before Jesus was born. And they're about to come back. And the media is giving us lots of indication that there's this hole that's in the top of the earth. And oh my gosh, since the icebergs have melted, this opening is now open, and they can all of a sudden get out and come back and visit us. Well, if they have these giant cities that are inside the earth, then I'm sure they have the capabilities of, air holes and things to supply what they're doing down there, what they have been doing down there. So you've got them coming from both directions, okay? You have the bastardizations from science of all these creatures that they've been manipulating and making gene splicing between humans and other animals. And they've experimented not just with the rats and the cows, but with pigs and rabbits and other creatures as well, where they take and splice in certain attributes of a human and then breed these animals. We won't even get into the part about breeding humans. When it came before discussion, there was such an outcry about this being against God and that we shouldn't be combining humans with other animals. Immediately, the whole issue was disbanded, and we thought that that meant that it had gone away. Well, it didn't go away. It's just that since we stopped talking about it, they're doing whatever they want to because they're saying it's not illegal. There are no laws banning this. So people have been making genetic clones of themselves and of mincing clones with animals. So you have the creatures on the earth coming from that. You have creatures from the earth which will be coming through holes in our firmament. Yes, the same firmament that was spoken of in Genesis. And they will be coming down on the earth. And then you will have these other creatures crawling out from inside of the earth. The media is telling us that there are entire cities down there and that these people are coming. So why aren't they coming now? Well, because we have certain films which will kind of prep the population into knowing and accepting these things. Now keep in mind, we've always had these skeletons. In every single state in America, we've had giant skeletons. These are people, not just the 9 feet tall ones that they've been letting us see over the years, that are still alive, that are here and alive on this earth, but new ones. And the skeletons, which have been uncovered in every single state, have humans, or Nephilim, up to 30 feet tall in length. And they're coming back. Okay? They have been held, not able to come upon our earth. They have been locked away for all of these years, and the devil knows that he has great wrath, and he will only have a short time on this earth. So they are going to try to scare us and make us submitted to these giant 30-foot tall humans and to these aliens that are flying in from somewhere else and from these creatures which are on the earth. So yes, this next period of time, immediately after we see the banking collapse of the third rider on the horse, the black horse, we have a pale horse, and him that sat on him was death, and hell followed with him. And power was given over them, over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So, if they're going to prepare the non-Christians, we need the Christians to be prepared as well. Because during this time, I believe that sword not only refers to the sword of battle, but the sword of beheading in Islam. So, after we have the third measure, which comes about with the entire banking collapse, immediately following and happening semi-concurrently with that is going to be this fourth horse, this pale horse, on which sat death and hell. And power was given over them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And I pray that you all have Jesus in your heart and repent and pray, for the end is upon us. Thank you so very much.